Dan in Hilton, New York. Got a lot of New York and New Jersey folks
do.
calling. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Tracie and Dan. How are you
Hi.
today?
Good. What's up?
I'm an atheist from the Burned Over District in upstate New York. And I've had a few conversations with theists, and one of the things I've found kind of underpinning a lot of belief is this concept of an intelligence, kind of a disembodied, free-floating intelligence, if you would. In fact, intelligence
That cares a
design
lot about
is
you.
on a-
Right. That's right.
But my response is that intelligence is really a measure of the function of the brain and necessarily contingent upon a brain being present, much like, if you would, you can't have color without light.
Correct.
You can't have intelligence without a brain. And I just wondered what your comments were about that.
Yeah.
I actually have a caller on YouTube. There's like a clip on YouTube where we took a call and somebody asked, like they said that they believed that God was disembodied intelligence, and I said, where have you ever seen intelligence without a brain or something to that effect? And he said, I never have. And I said, then why are you saying this?
Right.
What else can you say? Why are you making something up that you know does not align with reality? I don't know why a person would
That's
say
right.
such a thing.
Yeah, and even in the computer world, you can make the analogy that the computer is like a brain, and it's making decisions.
And the other thing that makes me angry about
that, it's the same
that,
sort of thing. Yeah.
they will use this. They'll say something about, God is intelligent, and then you say, and you'll be like, oh, okay, let's say, you have no concept of God. They come to you, they say, you tell me, what's your God model? Well, my God is intelligent. Okay, so then you make assumptions, like you're saying. You have this assumption, there's a brain. And the person starts talking, and they're like, well, but it's all spiritual. It's like, well, what is spirit? Well, it's like not material. Well, you're saying there's a non-material, I don't know about what is a non-material brain. And they're like, they get angry and say that it's like, well, you know what God is. And it's like, no, because what you're describing makes no sense. It's like telling me that you have a chair at home that's made of wood. And I say, oh, what kind of tree? And they say, oh, it did come from a tree. Okay, well, I don't know what kind of wood doesn't come from a tree. So at that point, I don't know what the word means anymore, because you just castrated the definition to the point where it no longer means what I understand it to mean. And it's the same thing with this intelligence. When you're saying that it's disembodied intelligence, that it exists non-materially without any kind of it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And if you can't explain it, don't expect me to respond to intelligence as though I understand it when you start taking away all the components that make it have any meaning.
Right. And I find that in many cases it does come down to the definition, but people or theists have never really thought about that before, and having them think about that can be a valuable lesson.
I agree.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, certainly one of the ways to have a lot of frustration is to have a debate with somebody where you don't agree on the definitions, right? And sometimes with these woo-woo words like spirit and these sorts of things, you might as well start there. And if you can't get that far, then you're hosed.
But it's frustrating when they use a definition that you are familiar with, and then partway through you find they're using it in a way that is completely unfamiliar, that has nothing to do with like the familiar definition.
Right.
And you're like, wait a minute, I understood this. I said I understood this word, and that word comes with baggage, with real world baggage that you want to dump, and then still say that this exists. And it's like, no, that baggage has to come with it, or the word means nothing.
Right.
I mean,
right. Or invent a new word for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
that
if I
means what you
told
really
somebody,
mean, right?
intelligence, and I said, well, for example, this pen has intelligence, it's like, what am I talking about? I mean, what do I mean? Now you're wondering, what do I mean? You would start getting confused and saying, do you mean the kind of intelligence that, are you thinking this pen is thinking? I mean, that's what you would wonder. And until I explain that I didn't think that, if I do say that I think it is thinking, then comes the question, where the hell's the brain?
Right.
What is the capacity for this pen to think? And what is the capacity for nothing
It's in the
to
ballpoint
think?
for sure. I don't know.
Retractable.
Okay.
Retract that statement.
Okay.